Smack talking raw, where the legends live and the rookies get schooled in law. This ain't just talk. This is Smack Talking Raw. You ready, Pinky? Judge always Ron. Let's lay the smack down. Boom!
It's Smack Talking Raw. Welcome to Tuesday night. I'm your boy Pinky. Ron Stradamus is back in the house. Look at that smiling face. I can't even imagine what his wife has to do to say no to that smiling face.
That's a whole different podcast, my friend.
That's Smack Talking Raw After Dark.
That's right. That's right. Man, Pinky, first of all, thank you for being such a gracious host for the 1-year anniversary of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. We had great pizza. We had great company, hanging out with my girl Harms with the Z at the end. That's my homegirl. And then hanging out with V. The Genevieve came down to hang out and hanging out with Hannah. Hannah came down and put the SmackDown on the whole flow of things. So that was awesome. So, yeah, it was really good time. Shan, Robert coming out, doing what they do. And it just felt like the whole clique was together. So I just really appreciate you giving us time to spend. And once a month, we're going to get together and do that with Monday Night Raw in the hopes that one day we'll be screaming and shouting and thinking that this thing is getting better. It's getting worse. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. How's your week been? You know, we got the Broncos, #1 seed in the AFC.
We don't get to watch them play football this weekend. That's kind of sad.
That's actually not sad. We need some time to regroup and get us some offense going. Our defense is great, but our offense has got to pick it up in order to win a championship. But did you watch the Ravens and Steelers game?
I did, yeah. That was crazy.
That game not crazy?
Well, the fourth quarter was crazy.
Yeah.
The 3 quarters leading up to that had me taking a nap.
It was one of those things to where you really get a chance to see how much moxie you have on a Sunday night to watch a game. But, you know, when Aaron Rodgers throws that touchdown and there's like 50 some odd seconds left in the game, I'm thinking to myself, the game is over. And then all of a sudden the kickoff return, they're at the 40 some odd yard line. Oh. It's 4th and 7. And all of a sudden then whatever his name, Isaiah, whatever his name is, or something likely, he makes the catch to get them within field goal range. And you're like, dude, we're going to have to play against the Ravens because, you know, that's always going to be the course for the Broncos. And all of a sudden, Loop, who's been killing it all year long, decides he wants to go wide right. So either he has some money on the game or nerves in his britches that didn't work out real good. So that's what I'm talking about.
What's up? So, yeah, that was great. So we had a lot of wrestling happen this weekend, Ron, and let's talk about it. Unless you want to rant first,
man. You're the host of this show. I'm just the play-by-play. So go ahead and do your thing, baby.
So let's talk about Raw and SmackDown. SmackDown moved back to 3 hours, and I was really nervous, but this is the best SmackDown I've seen in a while. Had a lot of stuff go on, a lot of stuff happen. They filled the time well. It had pretty good pacing. I really enjoyed SmackDown, which was crazy because I was hyped up for Raw, and it did not turn out as great. And I wasn't hyped up for SmackDown at all, and it was awesome. So goes to show you, like, whoever, like, they can produce a good show when they want to. It seems like.
Yeah, you know, the Miz coming out and creating his thing, Randy Orton coming out and RKOing him. That was beautiful. Chelsea Green taking the title. I mean, we'll go through all of them, but ultimately what I liked about SmackDown is that it was better than previous SmackDowns for pretty much the last 15 months. It was the best SmackDown in 15 months. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it was awesome. That means that it was just better than ones that we've seen in the past 15 months. There's a lot of continuity of like storytelling, right? Like as a wrestling fan, the reason why I spend my Monday nights and Friday nights is because I'm dialed in on a storyline that has gotten me hooked. And right now at this juncture in the game, when I'm watching Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, I'm not really like captivated so much. It was good to see a better product, but I'm still watching skeptically. I'm not sitting there with the thought of like, oh my gosh, I knew Randy Orton was going to come out and I knew he was going to kill The Miz or whatever. It's like, okay, he did that. Now what? Are they going to have a match? What's going to happen next?
I think I lost the picture. I did, didn't I? Yeah. Well, one of the things that actually made this SmackDown, and at least something I am enjoying, I am enjoying the Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes feud going on right now. Drew McIntyre his heel game right now is just so good, and I'm so sad that like we've got a match next week, 3 stages of hell. Drew's done his best job leading up to this match, getting everybody fired up, wanting to see Cody beat his ass, because that's what you want to do, right? As the heel, you want to make everybody hate you and want you to get your ass kicked. But Ron, they are going to fumble this because they're going to make Cody win. And then you don't have a feud. Like, it's not a feud or a rivalry if the bad guy doesn't win once. Because how many times can you have Drew lose to Cody? Like, he's already done it like 2 or 3 times. Like, I don't think he could do it anymore.
Well, I think that, the whole thing that WWE fumbled is Drew was the hottest wrestler for the last 2 years. He had his feud with Punk. He won the World Heavyweight Championship and lost it at WrestleMania. Him and Punk's feud was great. Him coming upon Damian Priest and carrying him was pretty good. And his rivalry now with Cody Rhodes is great. But when you lose every time, so what if he wins? So what? At the end of the day, everybody's going to look back and say, okay, you beat Cody once. Are you really the champion? You want your challenger to be strong. You don't want him to be a weak ass when he's in the thing, which leads me to my rant. So those of you that are watching here on Smack Talk and Raw, every show I have a rant. So today's rant is about WWE and Stranger Things. That was the worst publicity stunt that I've ever seen in my entire life on any product at any time. They had this creepy crawly vines or whatever the case may be. They didn't have any of the characters there. They didn't have anything or anything that was going on or what have you. I have not seen Stranger Things, and watching Monday Night Raw did not put me in a situation to where I want to watch Stranger Things. I have no idea what it was about. If I'm investing my money in WWE, and that's Netflix, that's USA, that's Stranger Things, that's whatever. Right now, we're not delivering on the product right now. The product was slow last night. Every wrestling move, if you go back and watch it, it seemed like everything was timed, like there was a time lapse or something like that in the thing. And we just can't watch professional wrestling from this vantage point anymore. It's ridiculous. It sucks. And so watching a product that sucks right now, I'd much rather just look online and see the recaps until I start to see a buzz come on. As a wrestling fan for 41 years, I have loved wrestling. And the only thing that I'm really loving right now about wrestling is Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, just like you, Pinky. And the problem with that is Drew has lost 4 times. So what do I expect him to do coming up here in the next couple of weeks is lose again. So where am I excited about it? Where is the thing that I should buy in? And then you're going to raise ticket prices and all this sort of stuff. As wrestling fans, if you're watching the product right now, I want you to just really take stock that if we start to boycott and not be, the product will get better. The product will get better the more that we stand up for ourselves. But right now, because we're paying into it and the stands are showing up and supporting this crappy ass product, we're just getting nothing but crap. I thought Monday Night Raw for the 1 year anniversary was going to be outstanding. It was, as you said, Pinky, on social media today, meh. I'm out.
And the Stranger Things promotion, it's almost like they were forced to do it. So they were like, oh, we'll do this little stage. Like the stage setup was really cool with the van from the show. And then the creepy vine stuff is actually a pretty big part of the show. But to not have any of the characters show up in the crowd, cheer anything, to not have any of the, matches get into the where you had everything set up and hit each other with the vines or slam into the van, or like to really make it shrink, like part of it. One of the coolest things I saw, I showed you that picture of Finn Balor. They had a picture of Finn Balor with and they had him up top normal, and then they had him down below as the demon. And it was because Stranger Things, a big part of that is the upside down, right? And it's basically just an alternate world that's kind of the opposite of ours. But they're kind of parallel to each other. This cross promotion was just awful. It was just awful. And I like Stranger Things a lot. I'm a fan of it. I like the show. I would recommend it to folks, especially folks who grew up in the 80s. It's in the 80s, so we get the references. We get, they're using a rotary phone and stuff. Like the cell phone is like a brick. Like, we get it. A lot of folks don't always my kids watch that and they don't get those things. That you can't just call somebody. You had to go to their house and hang out, right? So I'm with you, man. I'm with you. We'll talk some more about Raw. We'll do a quick review of what happened over the weekend. So SmackDown, 8-woman tag match. With I think it was pretty much the Survivor Series versus minus AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. It was the Survivor Series teams. These girls get after it, but they've done this so much that it's kind of old at this point.
They're rotating the same matches week after week after week, and they just have different pairings. Like one time it's a singles match, and then it's a tag team match, then it's a 8-man team match. And it's just one of those things that for me, when I'm watching the product, I'm not getting I've been a wrestling fan for 41 years, and I'm like watching a product that sucks.
This was fun. The indie god has finally made it back to WWE. And we got to talk about Kit Wilson. We saw Kit Wilson at the SmackDown in Denver.
Yes, we did.
He was on the pre-taping of main event against Damian Priest, which was also crazy. I don't know if you noticed, but his new song in Titantron was dope. Man, it was so good. For a guy that you're like, oh, I mean, Kit Wilson is probably a mid-carder for life, like for life. And he's going to be the guy that you want to see get beat up every week.
All the time, yeah.
And he's going to do a great job of doing that. And you can carve out a pretty damn good career from that, right?
Yes.
Just know your role. As The Rock would say, know your role. But it was fun seeing Matt Cardona back. Here's a little Rough Rider. That was a little confusing because I don't know if the announce group, I think it was Michael Cole and Corey Graves. They pulled SmackDown and Raw this week. I don't think they knew what to call him because they said Matt, they said Cardona, then they went back to Zach, then they went to Ryder. Michael Cole had no idea what to call this guy.
I think one of the reasons why they were doing that is because they were trying to draw reference to he's been here before, but now this is his new character. They'll get it dialed in. There was when they first came out, it was the question in my mind of, did they mess up by playing his old music and then, we got to put on his new music kind of thing? But it's just, he's been Zack Ryder for so long in WWE. You have to kind of make a segue. So I think that Michael Cole being a veteran, he was on purpose drawing the reference so people wouldn't be like, Matt Cardona, who in the hell aren't you Zack Ryder? So they don't pay attention to his skill set, is my opinion.
And we're gonna skip over the next picture I had ready to go. We'll come back to that later because that's going to fall into our conversation for later. Of course, we had Carmelo Hayes continuing the U.S. title open championship against Johnny Gargano. Damn, that's a good match, man. Like the U.S. title matches probably since Sami Zayn has been the best thing on SmackDown every single week, without a doubt.
Well, the challenge with that, though, is that you got a bunch of jobbers fighting against each other based upon how WWE has planted all of these guys. There's no storyline to it. It's like all of a sudden Pinky walks out to the ring. And I'm like, what in the hell are you doing out there, Pinky? Man, they said I could have a United States Championship match, right? Nobody's fighting for the match. Nobody's doing anything to get it. They just walk out and they just get into the match. That's what I'm talking about, the continuity of it. They could have a great match between Gargano and Carmelo Hayes, but at the end of the day, what am I invested in? Eventually, Carmelo's going to meet somebody that he can't beat, right?
You would think. I think the open challenge is a great gimmick, but eventually, yeah, like if you don't get him into a feud with someone, there's not a story. Like you're just like, oh, you're basically watching each week to see when is he going to lose,
right?
And who's he going to lose to?
And with a person that came back to or was promoted up to SmackDown that we'll be talking about in a little bit, maybe they get the rivalry going because they used to be a team, and maybe they get the rivalry going so we can get the belt to have more significance and more meaning. Because right now, this United States Championship, it was cool that John Cena did it. It was cool that Ilya Dragunov did it. It was cool that Sami Zayn did it. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, is that all it is now? Is to see how long you can be the champion for kind of thing? It feels like the Speed title versus the United States title. That's what it feels like to me.
Well, I would still think it's a little more interesting than the women's United States title. Congrats to Julia winning it back. Looking great. That was actually a good match. Chelsea Green had an interview today, and she said that was the hardest match she's ever had. Based on the style of wrestling of Julia. She said that was the toughest match that she's had. So kudos to both of those ladies. This was an entertaining match. I did enjoy it. I love Chelsea. I just can't get enough of her. Like, she's amazing. She's such a great, funny heel. I love that she doesn't care. She'll look like a goofball. She'll take the bumps. She's there to say, hey, if you guys enjoy it, love me or hate me, I'm going to keep getting paid. So I love that. So hopefully they've got plans for Julia now, because they gave her the title before and had like zero plans for her.
Yeah, she wrestled no matches. And I look forward to down the line when her and Stephanie Baker get in the ring for the first time and do some things, because those are two incredibly talented women that right now are both sitting on the sidelines, for lack of a better term.
And they've got good chemistry since they're best friends as well.
Yeah.
Oh, not sure about this Kiana James. Like, why? I know kind of why she's there with Julia, but does she need to be there anymore? I don't know. And then I think you were talking. You got stuck talking to my dad most of the night watching Raw. So I didn't get your take on the Damian Priest, Aleister Black first SmackDown ambulance match.
That shouldn't have been on SmackDown. That was such a waste to have an ambulance match on SmackDown. Now, I get that it was the main event and it was to draw eyeballs into the product, but that's a pay-per-view match. That, you can't waste that quality of a match. It was a good match. We've been seeing Aleister Black and Damian Priest fight for the last 7 months. So it's good that they finally got hopefully sign off on their match. But I was disappointed that this match was on SmackDown. It was a hard-hitting match. I think it would have been better served to be on ESPN or something like that, because that's what people have been paying their $30 a month for, is to have a quality match. And you know what? This is just a rant again. I'm sorry about it. For those of you guys that are tuning in, you wanted to see unbiased criticism or uncriticism of the product. This product sucks. And right now with the product sucking, I'm talking like this was a great match, but where you place it matters. I spent $30 a month. Pinky, you spend $30 a month. Everybody that's going to watch this podcast, you spend $30 a month to see something that's exciting, and we get crap. Put some good stuff all together and make. I want to bite my tongue off. I'm so mad at times.
You're just getting old, my friend. Old and grumpy.
Speaking of which, I love your dad. And I learned some real cool stories about Kansas and all that sort of stuff during Monday Night Raw. So good job.
This was a really good match, a banger of a match. You know, if you didn't watch SmackDown at all, you got to go catch it. I would just say put this match on. That'd be what, like, you have to watch this match. It was really, really good. A lot of moments back and forth. Surprise cameo from Damian Priest's homegirl. It just great. But yeah, the booking of where they put it. I mean, you got to put some of those matches on SmackDown and Raw. Like, they've got to have some of those bangers. But the culmination of this feud, which hopefully it is, would have been really good on a PLE. Like, This would have been a really good opener to a PLE, like, to get us all fired up and ready to go.
Right. So it's like my wife tells me we got plans to go to do something on Saturday night, right? And like I'm like, ooh, do I want to watch the PLE live, or is it okay to watch it tape? There's a lot of times where I sit and I'm like, I can watch it tape because at least I can fast forward through the matches I don't want to watch.
This was a great spot. That's why I included this. This was cool, throwing them up onto the windshield, seeing the windshield crack.
For sure.
As we move over to Raw, this was a good moment to start Raw. I like Rio. Rio is fun. It's good to get titles moving around. I feel like we need to get away from this, like, they win the titles and then you have it for like 6-7 months. At that rate, nobody's ever going to challenge for the most titles of all time. It's just not going to happen. So, but I will say, as you mentioned earlier, the women seemed a little off. Maybe they partied too hard at Maxine Dupree's wedding and then like hadn't been able to recuperate enough for this. Because yeah, everything was a little bit off. The finish of this match was on par, but leading up to it, they were a step off.
Yeah, I'm just like watching, like what I'm watching the WWE creative team do is they're putting together Io Sky and Rhea Ripley and Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. So they're putting all their big dogs together to create a tag team division. Why not just create a tag team division where there's wrestlers that's what they do? They're tag team specialists and they go out there and do their thing. I think it would be a lot more exceptional, a lot more exciting. Instead of having the on the men's side, the two sets of titles, just have one set of titles and have them go between brands against the different tag teams and have the tag teams battle against each other. Right now on Raw, you have the Judgment Day. You have Io and Rhea. And you have who?
You've got the Kabuki Warriors.
The Kabuki Warriors, right? So you got like 3 to 4 teams that you have that are quality women wrestlers. Then you got the Intercontinental Division where you got Becky Lynch fighting against Maxine Dupree every week and Lyra Valkyria and Bayley somewhere like random. There's just no freaking continuity. And I'm not a grouchy ass, you know what I'm saying? People that are watching, we appreciate you guys watching. Smack Talking Raw. We're just a couple of wrestling fans that love the product when it's good. We hate the product when it's bad. We love subscribers. We talk real talk about what's going on with professional wrestling. In a couple of weeks, we'd love for you guys to be involved in our little challenge. Me and Pinky are betting each other. We're going to take all of the pay-per-views for 2026, and we're going to keep score on who had the most victories in the pay-per-views, and the winner gets a steak dinner. And I'm beckoning to say that we will have some kind of prize for somebody that on the list. So subscribe and like and stay in tune with what we got going on, because we will have a special prize for the person that can come up with the most victories of everything. You got to send in your things and we'll give you the email. It's sports nonsense and whiskey at gmail.com. Anyway, we're part of that platform, so we're excited. And Pinky, keep on going, babe. Let's go.
Good one, Ron. So we've got we still haven't quite seen the long-term payoff of Gunther beating John Cena, or what the plan for 2026 is for Gunther. But seeing AJ Styles come out, stand up for Cena, slap Gunther, this got me a little interested. AJ Styles versus Gunther got me a little interested. The problem I have, this is AJ Styles last year. I don't want to see Gunther just whoop his ass. Like, I don't want to see that. And if AJ Styles beats Gunther, then what's the point?
Well, the thing that turned me off is that AJ Styles lost to John Cena, who Gunther tapped out. So when AJ Styles slapped Gunther, why in the heck didn't he beat AJ Styles' ass right there on the spot? Because what you're saying is that none of the matches matter. And now I'm afraid of AJ Styles when the person that beat you, I made him tap out. Gunther's got to be booked different. He's got to be booked as a monster heel that he never loses, so people get sick of him. Get the Roman Reigns treatment. Like when he's coming out to the ring, people aren't booing him. What Triple H and the creative team were betting on is because Gunther was the one that retired John Cena, that everybody would just hate him forever. And the reality of it is they're not. So he has to get this cute catchphrase. I'm the one that made you tap out you. And then it's this catchphrase thing, right? To try to get heat from people. And it's just not getting over. Gunther, you're a great wrestler. Become an asshole. Like really just beat people up and make them submit. Chop them until they tap out. Like they can't take any more chops. Do something to be amazing. But right now, it's like we wasted John Cena's last match. Just like when Baron Corbin beat Kurt Angle, which is the only thing that was worse than this at this point, because Baron Corbin got released from WWE. So how horrible was that?
All right. So
if you watch enough of this show, guys, you'll get my point. But right now, it's going to get better. That's what I keep telling myself every week. I think I can. I'm the little train that could. Let's go.
So what? I didn't see your reaction to this match last night. What did you think about Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree? I think this was their fourth match at this point.
I didn't get a chance to see it. I was talking to your dad. We were talking about ice fishing during this. So I saw Becky with the belt in her hand, and I was like, all right, cool. Good job, Becky. So you're gonna have to tell everything because I didn't have none of it.
It was okay. I'm still confused on why Becky won. Like, I don't get it. And maybe this is because I want Becky in the main event scene. She's so good at being a heel. Her character right now, complaining on Twitter every week, just literally going off, is so good that I want that for the main event ladies. I don't feel like there's any heels right now that like I care about. They've got Jade trying to be a heel. You know what? You ruined that because you had her for 2 years getting beat. She got beat 3 times by Tiffany Stratton before she becomes a monster. Get out of here. That's awful. Like, now you want me to believe that she's this monster that nobody can beat, and then she's only, whooping on Michin and B-Fat.
Pinky, you're starting to talk my language, friend. You're seeing it. You're seeing it, man.
So this is where we need someone to come up and challenge to make it a feud and make it interesting. Becky's done that twice already in the last year. Lyra and Maxine. You really cared about Maxine previously. You wanted to see her wrestle. You wanted to see her get better. You wanted to see her character come out. Becky jumped right in, jumped on that grenade, and made it happen. For most folks, both of us included, we could care less about Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! Like, we didn't care. She gets in a feud with Becky. All of a sudden, we're like, oh, okay, yeah, whoop that ass. Like, okay, awesome. Going back and forth. Good. Oh, you got Crazy Bailey, helping you out. Like, it made it interesting. I don't know where we go from here. And if they're only setting this up to get a AJ Lee, Becky Lynch, and it's for a title, I don't like it. The fact that AJ Lee is like a super part-timer at this point, like, I just don't see the point in it. Unless you're going to bring AJ Lee back and actually have her weekly for 6 months. Like, I don't need it. I don't need a Becky AJ Lee title match at WrestleMania. I just don't.
Yeah.
I need something that we can actually like enjoy and bite or get our teeth into, and like, oh my God, I can't believe Becky did that, and I can't believe so and so did that. I don't think we're gonna get that with AJ Lee being a super part timer. So,
with the homework that you asked me to do with the 6 things that I want to see in 2026, there's one angle that I was thinking about that would be outstanding to get this. So I'll bring that up at the end of this program. So if you're watching live, stick around. We got some good stuff to talk about for 2026. But for now, let's continue on.
I did not catch this last night. I think I was taking pizza out of the oven and cutting pizza up. So I had to rewatch it today. Looks like Stephanie's going to get some time off. The way that Raquel whooped her and beat up on her ankle, it looks like she's getting some time off, which, again, she's had a pretty jam-packed year and a half. She was in NXT doing everything, and then she came right up to the main roster this year, and she's done everything since that. She probably needs a little bit of a rest.
Well, also, she hasn't really done anything. Her title reign here in the main roster has been pretty terrible. Like, she hasn't done, like, her Punk, Cody to a large degree, like, they're not really doing anything as champions.
Well, and think about Io Sky.
Yeah,
once they put the championship on her, they didn't have her do anything. As soon as Stephanie got the title, she hasn't really done anything. When Tiffany Stratton, she kind of feuded with Jade and Nia Jax, and that was it. And there's so much potential for more. I do think the draft would be a great way, at least for the women, to realign and get the women. There's way more talented women on Raw right now. So many that it's crazy.
But there's way more talented women in NXT than there is in Raw or SmackDown combined.
You could make that argument. I would say there's still more in Raw, but the women in NXT could take over SmackDown right now for sure. And there's just not enough. There's nobody on SmackDown I really care about except for Chelsea Green. And because they keep moving, Charlotte and Alexa are technically on SmackDown, but they're on Raw a lot. So I don't know where they're at. They're just, it's tough. So this is good for Stephanie. She's probably going to get a break for a little bit. We'll probably see her back Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, or ready for WrestleMania. One of the two. My favorite part of the night, I know you know where I'm going. wasn't seeing Liv back just and actually wrestling was so good.
That shirt with the Mysterio was awesome too. Like I thought she had actually gotten a tattoo until like I took a deeper look last night. I was like, did she really do that? And then I saw the shirt and I was like, that's pretty cool that they created a shirt that looks like Dominic Mysterio. That's awesome.
Yeah, this was great. This is a good match between her and Lyra. They actually have some pretty good chemistry. Loved it. Had a great time. And I'm ready for Liv and her acting and what she can do in the ring. I'm just ready for her to be a centerpiece like she was before she got hurt. So I'm all for it. I'm ready. Then we had maybe one of the best troll jobs, and I don't know if everybody got the reference. We got the reference. I got the reference.
Immediately when I saw it, I was like, that is sick, because he took the Michigan Wolverine jacket and put a C on it and put a Punk on the back. That was dope.
This is a great troll job by CM Punk. Like, fantastic. It leads to a great banger of a match. This is one where I'm like, hey, this is great. You need this on Raw. The main event last year was CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Fantastic match. This saved the night. Like, if it's not for this match, we're feeling pretty underwhelmed at the end of the night. Thankfully, I had a lot of friends. We were chatting. We were having fun. It was still great because we were hanging and spending time together. But if this was a Raw that we had just been sitting and relaxing and watching, we'd be like, I can play on my phone. Like,
right.
So, Ron did call it. I will say. He
hold on. Like, just so that everybody that's listening and watching, you can hear this live and in color. Here we go. Oops. Hold on.
Maybe. Technology is hard for Ron.
Sometimes. That's right. Oh, 2 bolts are better than 1. Right now we have an outstanding. It is. Right now we are here pre-Ron Breaker versus my man CM Punk. And I'm playing this right now for you all so that you can hear what my prediction was for this match. The winner and still world heavyweight champion, the best in the world, CM Punk. That is right. I predicted that, and we are in living color of the world heavyweight champion right there.
They did a really good job. They ended the show with him up on the ropes and Braun Breaker down on the floor, contemplating how he lost, right? Which now I am confident that you're right. Braun Breaker is winning the Royal Rumble. It is happening. He's winning the Royal Rumble or he's winning Elimination Chamber. He's winning one of the two. Because now he's chasing the title after he got beat. And Punk's going to put him over. I mean, Punk does what's best for business.
Yeah, he does.
Or Phil. We should call him Phil. Phil does what's best for business. So, great. This was a great way to end a very meh Raw, and it saved the night. Kudos to CM Punk. All right, we're gonna have to move this along. We're gonna have to get a little fast. All right, Ron. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the future, because I believe the future of WWE is now.
Yes.
And let's start with Trick Willie, baby. Oh, Trick Willie. He came out on SmackDown. He's officially signed to SmackDown. He came out, interrupted Sami Zayn, and the crowd went wild. They sung, "Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick.
Whoop that trick. Yes.
He looked like $1 million. Like he just looks like a star. Like I want to get some cognac and a cigar with this guy. And I want to hang out and have him tell me how dope he is. See his little Trick Willie necklace, the fur coat. Man, I was in. He's got me. I was like, man, let's do this. So happy for Trick Williams. What are you thinking he's gonna do this year?
So I think that he's eventually an all-timer. Under the Triple H regime, I don't know if he's going to get the run that he got in NXT. How Trick Williams will be ultimately taken into is how he and Oba Femi are brought in. Because either Oba is going to be the guy or Trick is going to be the guy. They can't both be the guy. Right. So either Trick is going to be a mid-carder, be a U.S. title winner or something like that, or he's going to be a world heavyweight champion going from different brands and everything like that. With his experience in NXT, being a couple-time NXT champion, being a TNA champion, he should come in with all the fanfare to be a dominant champion in the big leagues, in the main roster. But I don't know how Triple H is going to book him because lately, I mean, Carmelo Hayes was an NXT champion, one of the longest reigning NXT champion, and he just finally got a title after a couple years, you know, so I don't know. I have no idea where Triple H is going to play with him. But to your point, he is $1 million look right there. His body's fantastic. His dress is fantastic. His mic work is fantastic. His wrestling is fantastic. What?
I knew they were putting him on SmackDown because that's where his fiance is. So we knew that was going to happen. The other confirmed as of last night, which they did on a commercial break. Freaking idiots. Javon Evans got signed to Raw. I love Javon, and I know he was ready. I know he's ready. And he does things that gets people excited. I'm just wondering if Raw was the place for him.
I think he should have been on SmackDown.
I just think SmackDown needs that elevation of interest. Like Aleister Black's cool. Damian Priest is cool. The Miz is cool. R-Truth coming out every so often making us laugh is cool. But who do we have that really gets excitement going? Sami Zayn? The MFTs? No. Javon Evans would have really helped with that.
Yeah.
Like immediately. So
and he could easily get lost on the Raw roster.
He can. Like I'm thinking about all the there's a lot more main event guys on Raw on purpose.
On purpose.
So I love Javon though. Congrats to him. He's done a lot of work. He's 21 years old.
Incredible athlete, incredible star. I hope that they give him a chance to get a run at something.
And he carried NXT and AAA. He was at every one of the AAA events this year. Every single one of them.
Yes, he was.
So he did great. The other, it's been confirmed, the Muscle Muffin, as Blake Monroe calls her, is also main roster bound. They're still saying she's a free agent, but she did have a decent feature on SmackDown. So do you think that's where she's signing? That's probably where she needs to go.
Yeah, that's where she needs to go because again, she's going to get eventually Bianca Belair is coming back. You got Rhea Ripley, who is she's dominant, but she's not really playing her dominant card quite yet until her and Io Sky break up, and she's going to show her depth. Charlotte Flair. I mean, there's a lot of leeway that Jordan's got to get through to get to the top, but it's good to have her on the main roster because that's where she should have been from the first place. Yeah,
I think she probably could have skipped NXT altogether. And the only thing they made her do in NXT is she had multiple title champion shots and lost all of them. Like They didn't put nothing behind her at all. And then I thought this would be a good one. This is going to happen here tonight. This, hopefully, I am praying. This is Oba's last match in NXT. The last one. And he's going to put Leon Slater over.
He needs to.
Somehow, some way. The ruler needs to come. And I would also ask the same question. SmackDown or Raw?
Well, because he and Cody have already had a match, I think that it's a no-brainer that he goes to SmackDown, because they have that allure already set up of, I could have beat you, Cody, but Drew McIntyre came in there, and I got to get my feud on with Drew McIntyre so I can get my hands on you, Cody, again, kind of thing. So
I could get behind that.
Yep.
So Oba, Femi, they've confirmed.
I would like to see the NXT champion not lose their title, just give it back, because like you want your NXT champion to be strong. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, I'm sick of playing with these kids here. Here's your belt. I'm going to the main roster.
Right. So if they do it that way, they could. That's a good angle. Hey, Leon, that was a great match. I whooped your ass. I'm tired of playing with you kids. I'm moving up to play with the big dogs, right? Could do it that way. I don't think they will, but they could.
And then what would happen as far as from a continuity standpoint is that later on when Slater gets up to the main roster, remember when you called me a little kid? Now they can play that story in the future, as opposed to all of a sudden they just have – there's so much. Paul, I could be on your creative team by myself, and I would have millions of people wanting to watch your product because it would be better.
Ain't that the truth?
Yes.
All right. So with New Year's Evil happening tonight, I did want to show you something. I kind of wanted to get just a couple quick ones from you. We got JC Jane and Kendall Gray, who is the future for sure. She's amazing. You think JC Jane loses? Is she going to give it up?
I think it's time for her to go main roster. So yeah, Kendall Gray, she needs the belt.
Okay. My girl, Blake
Yeah,
Monroe.
Your girl.
They should hire Ronstradamus. Ain't that the truth? He needs to apply first, though, because you can't get hired if you don't apply. So there's that.
Thank you, Cody. You know what? I'm gonna put you down as a reference, brother.
So we got Thea Hale taking on Blake Monroe. There was a botch in their last match. The ref counted 3. That's not how it was supposed to go down. So they had to run with it. I think Blake's going to get her belt back. I think they had some stories they wanted to run. But I'd say maybe another half a year in NXT. And then she's coming up, I would imagine. She's got let's just be honest, guys. She's really nice to look at. She's going to make a lot of money on the main roster. She's going to make WWE a lot of money.
A lot of money.
She's not long for NXT.
Both of those girls are the same. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing wrong with either one of them.
No. Thea Hale's awesome. I like her crazy character, her energy that she's got. So should be a fun match. I'm excited to watch. And then there's one more for the night. Tatum Paxley, who's also probably main event or main roster ready because she's been in NXT for 4 years. And then Izzy Dame. They've been in a pretty good feud on this. I don't know if you've been watching their feud the last couple weeks, but it's been pretty good. I just showed you 4 graphics of matches tonight. Was there anything that popped out about those 4 graphics?
Is that a trick question, or is that just like my opinion?
Honest question. It wasn't trick. There was 4 matches I showed you. Those are the 4 matches for tonight. There was something that kind of stuck out to me, though.
It was all blonde versus dark hair.
I mean, there's that, but it was all female matches for the most part.
Right.
Which
Right,
comes back
right.
to you mentioning how great the NXT roster is, the female roster is. It's
Yes.
pretty damn good.
Yes.
So that does literally hammer your point that you were correct there, Ron. So kudos to you. All right. We got some time left, Ron. I am excited to hear your wish list for 2026.
All right.
What would if you could jump in and you were Triple H, you were the man in charge, what would you change for 2026?
So I would have, number one thing is I would have an NXT invasion. And just similar to like when the NXT wrestlers came in and they hogtied Daniel Bryan, did the announcer, that they just come and completely take over the main roster and take over the shows, kind of like the NWO. I would like to see the NXT female and men wrestlers just take over Monday Night Raw and SmackDown and force the product to become better. That's number one. From a creative standpoint, I would just love to see that.
With that outcome, like, what's the end goal there? Because if NXT comes and takes over, then you don't have the talent. The talent would stay on the main roster, and then you don't have anybody to like sell your tickets for your NXT shows.
Well, that's where LFG and all of those programs can backfill on those programs. But we can really get just a rototill because the NXT roster is ready right now for the most part. And they need to have a takeover, a true NXT takeover where Shawn Michaels comes up and says the product is crap, Triple H, and they have a battle to see who's going to be on the main roster, who's going to get fired, who's going to, like, they should really just shake it up. Like, instead of having a draft, they have like the NXT people just come and just say, we're sick of this. We're good enough to make this product great, and we're going to challenge you and have an NXT takeover. So Triple H, there's a free one for you, friend. So that's number one. Number two, Obafemi, that he comes in and he starts a Goldberg type run when he comes up to the main roster. That he comes up and he's so dominant that he's not someone that can be messed with, that he is someone that gets taken over, and that the ruler comes out and he dominates WWE for the next year and a half or so, and maybe even comes in and beats Goldberg's streak so that he's the next big thing. So that's number two. Number three thing that I'd like to see in 2026 is any wrestler that's over the age of 45 retires. And that includes CM Punk. That every single wrestler that's over 45 is out. That they can go to AEW, they can go to New Japan Pro Wrestling, they can go wrestle in the Hammerstein Arena. Get rid of all of them because we need to get some new blood in. If we're going to have a down season, I'd much rather have a down season with people that I can get behind and say that, okay, I know a couple years from now they're going to be better, rather than being held down by people that are older than them. So that brings me to number four. I'd like to see a younger group versus the older group battle so that they can say, okay, like the main event mafia that used to be in TNA, all of the great big stars against the new and upcoming stars, and have those kind of rivalries going on so that we can get some stimuli of like seeing the future start to show up, which would create strange bedfellows. Like, for example, you have Braun Breaker and Javon Evans together as a team against, you name it, Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn or something like that. You can have some weird matches that you could have going on so that you can make that happen. Another thing that I would like to see is I'd like to get excited again about WWE, which would be better creative. I would like to see stories that matter instead of just throwaway stuff, like stuff that doesn't make any sense. That's and the last one is Kevin Owens coming back and being dominant, no longer being a mid-card jobber, but coming back from his injury and being uplifted up into the main event scene to where he could be a world heavyweight champion and have the great comeback story of 2026. Those
We
are my
need
five.
we need a badass heel. Like no joke. We need a badass heel. So, God, I didn't even write my list down. So I might have to wait till next week. I really like that NXT takeover idea. That actually that'd be pretty awesome. I almost think the women. I think just not the men, but the women. Do an NXT takeover for the women. Oh man, Blake Monroe, Izzy Dame, JC Jane, Jada Parker. Let's go Jada. Kalani Jordan. Yeah, that would be a fantastic idea. The older, getting rid of everybody over 45. Now that's interesting. I mean, CM Punk just had a really great match last night. That's getting rid of him. AJ's retiring this year. Brock, it sounds like Brock is retiring this year. So we'll get both of them out there. Then you have Randy Orton. You've got The Miz. R-Truth. I mean, R-Truth doesn't really wrestle anymore. So, I mean,
Right.
we could let R-Truth hang around, right? He could hang around.
But you could have storylines like when Ric Flair was told by Vince McMahon that whenever you lose your next match, you will retire, right? That's what he said. And you could have those types of stakes on the line that all of a sudden all these guys that are over 45, it would make the matches more intense and more meaningful, as opposed to right now, these guys are going in and they're kind of like they're writing it in. You know what I mean? Like CM Punk, the last 6 months with his match against Gunther, his match against Jey Uso, not so good.
The one against Gunther was good, though.
What's that?
The one against Gunther was good.
Yeah, his match against Gunther was awesome. But like what I'm saying is you talked about his go to sleep, and it's like, is he going to sleep or is his opponent?
Even last night's go to sleep did not look good.
Right.
He still got the elbow. The elbow comes off the top rope, right? But the go to sleep is not really working at this point. Yeah, he's gosh, that just got me thinking. Like that'd be monumental. That'd be a monumental shift. And I think what's causing an issue right now, Ron, is that the TKO. They just want all the money they can get. And if you put CM Punk on a show, you're gonna make money. If you put Brock Lesnar on a show, you're gonna make money. If you put Randy Orton on a show, you're gonna make money. I think that's the problem, because there should be. They shouldn't have to rely on legends, and I would consider those guys legends at this point. They should be relying on the new guys, and I saw it firsthand, man. When Oba came out to face Cody, the crowd was hyped. He had him. Like it was awesome, just awesome. One Trick on SmackDown, I can only imagine what that was like when he came out. And I can only imagine how he felt. His first real time in front of that crowd, and they're going whoop that Trick, and so that would be great. That it would just WWE would be forced to focus on bringing up their young talent. So that's actually not a bad idea.
And it would force them, if we stop buying into the product. If we give them a chance we're just sitting at home and watching it on TV and then not watching it on TV. SmackDown fell below 1 million viewers a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
And so that was a big thing. Monday Night Raw, when it first came out worldwide, they had 6 million viewers on the first Netflix show. And now we're barely getting 2 million. We're talking about worldwide audience. So the best way to speak that out, everybody, is that you have a voice. You can say what you want to say to WWE. You can not go to the product. You can not watch the product, etc. You can read the dirt sheets. And as soon as it starts getting exciting again, tune back in. But right now, if we continue to support that we're okay with being a domestically battered husband or wife in this situation, as however that goes, we're going to continue to get beat up with bad product. So we thank you guys so much for tuning in to Smack Talking Raw. I'm Rod Stradamus, and that's Pinky. And if you like what we're talking about, we give you a thumbs up. But if you don't like it, we got 2 words for you.
Suck it. We out.
Yeah. Smack Talking Raw. Ron and Pinky in the house. We the main event, yo, the crowd gon' scream. Cena hit the ring, you can see me theme. CM Punk pipe bomb, truth getting told. Stephanie Curr in the ring looking bold. Pinky's on the mic, Ron's got the play. Dropping hot takes every single day. Mike's blaze, crowds wild, energy tall. Monday night vibes, we bring it on. From the top rope talk to backstage brawl, it's Smack Talking Raw.